Come on in. Hello and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. In a rather unconventional moment, we are having our third fantastic video of the day. So happy afternoon. My name's Katie O'Neill. I'm here at 303-562-8659. And as usual, I love to start my videos from the inside out. So Jody, if you don't mind, go ahead and take her on back. So the special occasion for today is really that we have the opportunity to show you a rather rare and spectacular RV. Now this RV has really all of the modern amenities that you're going to want in a Renegade Verona, but it's decked out even a little higher end. She's a little more fancy. This is our Verona LE. And the reason we're so excited about today's video is because this is the all-new mocha interior. So if you can see all this beautiful dark wood around us, we have two colors of wood that are optional this year for Verona, where we typically just have one standard interior color. And this is mocha, the other would be called Woodstock. And it's just really nice to be able to see this new color. This is also a Brunswick interior, so we'll take a look at that as well. Now, when I mentioned the Verona, there's of course the Verona in the 40 VBH, which we see a lot of videos of, or the 36 VSB. This is a Verona 40 LRB. So this is the LE version, which is our luxury version of the Verona. And there's some really nice features. So this LRB has a rear bath. As you can see, it's really roomy. There's a ton of cabinet space. Of course, these cabinets are just as decadent and well built as you would expect from the Amish up in Elkhart, Indiana, where this RV is manufactured. We have, of course, our beautiful soft touch ceiling. I've got the air conditioning running off of the generator right now. LED lights throughout. Beautiful, beautiful decorative sconce above. And then again, more fantastic storage. And I love the way Renegade has made this such a seamless and classy bathroom. Another nice feature of this RV is if you would like to have a place to keep all of your hand towels and linens, you've got tons of room here. Your toilet paper dispenser is over here, so it's out of the way, and then lots of room for some cleaning supplies. And another thing I really love about this RV is not only this kind of seamless undermount sink that you have in this high polish finish, but also look at this beautiful new tile surround. So we'll see this mimicked as well in the kitchen. Now, of course, my favorite place here is the place that you lock up all of the naughty husbands and children. No, I'm just kidding. It's just the shower. But if your kids are really getting out of hand, all you have to do is put them in here. It's got a little lock, it's magnetic, they can't get out. No, don't do that. No, so great skylight, soap dish. You've got your, of course, removable wand, so you can adjust the height of your shower to be whatever you'd like it to be. And then I get a lot of comments where people ask about this nozzle. So one thing I'll tell you, I'm not gonna fake it. I can sit down and shave my legs. Now, I'm not gonna lean back like I'm in a sauna, but this is a really great place to be able to wash my feet and shave my legs. And what I like about it is if I do lean back against it now, it doesn't turn off. In my 36 VSB, when I would lean back against the faucet, it would actually turn the water off, which I didn't really care for. So that is a great improvement. You'll also note that on the LE, this fantastic little fiberglass shower also has a nice place where you can keep your shampoo and conditioner. And where that's so handy is if you forget to take it out while you're going down the road, it's not gonna flop over and start rattling around. So just a really nice setup here. So I'm gonna go ahead and close again. As I said, magnetic with a nice little lock. The magnet's great. It keeps it from getting too, how should we say, cool on those crisp mornings because you can actually keep all that steam there inside of the shower. That being said, there's still a rain sensor fan up above. And sometimes I feel like I take these things for granted. We have them throughout the coach. We also have a really nice air conditioning system that's on right now, as well as a ceiling fan. And I feel like sometimes when you have nice things around you all of the time, you fail to realize that other people aren't used to this kind of quality in construction. But honestly, after working with Newmar and Renegade for so long, it's become kind of standard fare for me. All that being said, when we talk about Newmar and Renegade, this is very much comparable to a Superstar. Now, I had a 36 VSB. I traded it in. Someone asked me today, why'd you leave Renegade? Not because I don't love Renegade. I love Renegade. I just wanted to try something new. But this is very comparable to our Superstar product with Newmar. What I like about the Renegade, though, is really the simplicity. Like, that's as simple as it is. There's no fancy latches. It's simply snap and go. So you know when things are in place, you can see it. That's one of the really nice features, is when you're getting ready to go down the road, you can look and see that everything's where it's supposed to be. Another nice feature, look at this nice nightstand. So 2 110 outlets, USB port, also a USB-C, right? So super fast charging for those of us with the newer iPhones or Samsungs, but a really simple, great place as for your phone, for your water bottle, for your books. Nothing really froofy, but completely functional. And then look at all of this storage up above. One thing that Renegade is so good at is unadulterated storage. So much room up here. Of course, we have our reading lights, nice and simple, and we also have our light controls here. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about one of the differentiating features between this and a Newmar that I really like, and one of those is this Light Master. So as you can see, I have all of the different features that I want for my lights right here at the touch of a hand. So in the rear, I can go into the bedroom ceiling and turn that on. I can go into the accents and turn those on. All of these are available, as you can see, at the touch of a button on my phone. So now you've got these really beautiful backlights that you can see around the bed turned on. Now, if I want to turn something off, all I have to do is hit off, and all my lights are off at the touch of a button. So super handy that you have this app. And the app's not just good for this. I can control my temperature. So if I wanted to turn on, for instance, my heat pumps, or maybe I wanted to run my air conditioning, I can do that. I can control my slides. I can control my awnings. All of these things are here at the touch of a button with your Firefly app. So a really cool feature of this RV. Now, we've got nightstands on both sides. We're also going to go ahead and show you underneath the bed. So this is where our 150 gallons of water is. 2 75-gallon tanks here. And then right in front, you can see there's a great little spot. That is where we have the hose connection for our central vac. So that's one of the nice features that differentiates the Superstar and the LE from the regular Verona, that you have the central vac in the coach. Now take a look at these wardrobes. This is, like I said, so much unadulterated space. And for those of you that are going to go out snowmobiling, because this is an all-season coach, you can really simply lift this up and remove it, and all of a sudden you have a place where you could hang long things. You could hang wetsuits, even if you were like somebody who was more apt to go to Baja, or if you're somebody who's out on the track and you're trackside and you're maybe riding your motorcycle and you need to have your longer gear. All your bibs will fit into these closets, which is so nice. Now here, a great place to keep a helmet, perhaps, maybe some of your riding boots, whatever it might be. And then look at all of this drawer storage. So much drawer storage. And as you can see, these are really nicely crafted. This is, again, that Napanee, the Amish community that builds Renegades for us, has all of this dovetail finish that you can see here on the exterior of these doors. Really beautifully executed coach. All soft close, all nice and supple. Of course, we do have everything wired here. We've got HDMI inputs, we've got cable inputs, and unlike Newmar, you will get a Sony Blu-ray player for not only the back, but not only for the back, but the front of the house as well. We've got our Samsung Smart 4K TVs, an emergency exit, MCD day, and night shades. I love that this year they've gone to kind of a new tweed. We've had black shades, which look a little bit dark. We've had white shades, which look a little bit bright. This year they've come up with a very nice neutral tweed shade, which is a little bit of both. So everyone should be happy. Check out that closet space. And 4 huge drawers. So one of the reasons that we can do this is because the Verona LE, unlike its little sister, the Verona, has 3 slides. So you have 2 slides in the front and 1 in the rear, giving us all that much more room and functionality A really nice feature. Also, you'll note the positioning on the 40 LRB of the washer and dryer is fantastic. Not only is it going to be accessible when you're down the road, so you can run this, you can do your wash, switch over to your dryer while you're in motion just by running your generator, but when the slides are closed, you can also do all of your folding right here onto the bed. So really, really nice feature. Oh, better close that bad boy. Okay, so here we come. Now we're at the midsection of the coach. Take a look at all of this living room space. This is so grand. So much room here. Now again, we're talking about some new colors that we haven't seen in the past. This is going to be the darkest of all of the colors. So this is the tan, not the light tan, but the dark tan interior. And this is called Brunswick. We also have the mocha finish. If you look back at my last 38 LRB question, we had a moonstone interior with the, oh gosh, Jody, I'm going to forget the name of it now. It's okay, it'll come back to me. But we had a completely different wood stock interior wood, which is a nice light gray. So really nice that you can differentiate those. I just took an order. Hello, Vince. I hope you're watching, for this interior leather with the wood stock wood interior. That should look really fantastic. Hopefully when that RV gets here, Vince will let me make a video for all of you to see. Now let's talk about some other great features of this coach. First and foremost, in the Superstars, which are, of course, like I said, the comparable models, you don't have nearly as much booth space as you do in a Verona LE. So I like to talk about things I like, things I don't like. If this is an important feature to you, this LE has a really big dining area. Now the dinette is not extendable, but it has some cool features. For instance, a place to keep your soda while you're going down the road. For those of us that work on the road, or maybe we've got kids that are doing Zoom classes, doing education on the road, or maybe we're just playing cards, you know, while Honey drives. Whatever it might be, it's a nice place so where if you take a turn quickly, you're not reaching up to grab whatever might go flying off of the counter. The other thing that's really nice is, again, just like in the bedroom, 2 110 outlets with a USB and with a Type-C charge as well. So, and you've got those on both sides, so everybody's gonna have access. And again, we're gonna take a look at this lighting. So I'm gonna go back here to front master, and I'm gonna turn on, there's my ceiling lights. I can turn on my floor lights. Jody, you wanna go down underneath here? Look at along that kitchen, there's my floor lights, right? So cool. If I can go into my accent lights, so look up here along this glow. So one of the things that really differentiates the higher level of coaches from the lower level of coaches is going to be things like these really nice lights that you'll find throughout the higher end products. And the reason that is because you don't always want to have all the daytime on at night. Sometimes it's nice to have a soft glow, and you can really pick and choose in this RV what you like, and you can do it through the comfort and ease of your phone. You don't actually have to get up and go touch a console. So I really like that aspect of this coach. Now again, we've talked about storage. Look at all of this storage. You've got 12 feet of insane amounts of space. And what's so nice about having this homogenized shape is all you need to do is get the same type of plastic bins, and you can label them A through Z. You can put your flashlights under F, you can put your dishware under D, however it is that you want to organize things. You can have something full of batteries. Whatever it is that you might want to keep, all you need is a label maker and a few plastic boxes you can get from the Container Store or Costco, and you've got so much at the tip of your hands. So there's, like I said, one of my very favorite things. Now, also, one of the things I really like about this living room is when you're sitting down and it's time to watch a movie and drink a beer, isn't it awesome to have a great place to keep not only your beer, but your chips and your salsa and your guacamole? Hello, Renegade. Thank you for being on top of your game and making this a great place to have a party. Super, super cool. Not only that, how many things of snacks do you think I could fit on this counter? And then when my friends have to stay late because they've had a little too much to drink and they want to take a little siesta before they drive home, maybe till the next day, how cool is it that all I've got to do is pop out this bad boy. I mean, this is an RV that is not only ready for you, it's ready for your kids. And Jody, spin it around. Let's show them what happened in 2023. Your kids can bring their kids, because the 2023 Renegade LE is not just made for adults, it's also got sleeping accommodations for littles. Check this out. So I'm not going to pull this last pin out, but I'll show you. You have so much room up here for sleeping. And if you want to remove these cushions and use this just for your Costco runs, all of your supplies that you've picked up, maybe you're going to Alaska and you want to have, you know, lots of oatmeal and things, soup, things that you might need on the road so you don't have to stop and shop. All of that can be fit up here in this overhead cab. But if you do have little ones, you've got an Insignia television right here. You've got a really nice shade here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and extend, oops, I turned the lights off. Shoot. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and extend it, or retract the shade. Maybe. There we go. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Sorry, patience is not my strong suit. There we go. So check that out. You want to have a little extra nice daylight in your coach? How cool is that? Great way to bring in a little bit of the extra scenery and also a little extra daylight into your RV. There's also another 2 110 outlets and USB port and Type-C up here as well. When you do put your bunk into place, you can lock it so that it won't go skittering around. And there's a fantastic ladder that gets right up here. But as you can see, if you've got this retracted, you can get really in and out of the cab very easily. Now, I've got a lot of people that are concerned about this step. If you're one of them, I gotta tell you, it's really not that bad of a step. The other thing that's nice is if something goes like sliding forward because you slam on the brakes, for instance, your dog, they're not gonna end up under your feet in the cockpit. Now, I wanted to point out as well, I haven't put this away yet, because when you have lots of people, you also need lots of seat belts. So 2 seat belts here, and then if you can see underneath here, we've got another 3 seat belts. So that's a total of 5 additional seat belts beyond the driver's seat. This coach can seat 7 people going down the road safely. It's super easy to stow. And my favorite thing, as anybody knows that watches my videos, is a single cushion system. How simple is that? Absolutely love it. God, one of the smartest designs. If this isn't my favorite coach, it's definitely in the top 3. Really, really love the 2023 Verona LE. Now, that being said, get your orders in, because I'll tell you, there's a bunch of people that like this RV that are on the sidelines thinking about it, and they're going to think about it until 2024 if they're not careful. All that being said, take a look at this. So how smart is this? So as I mentioned, you get another Blu-ray player. You've got this fantastic sound bar. This has like this little digital like blue readout that comes up, which is so smart. But really, how much room is that? Oh my gosh. And the funny thing is, okay, so that's pretty easy to get to, but how do you get to the other side? Oh, was it Brenda? Is that the internet person? Geez, Brenda. Anyway, so check this out. Bam! Super, super smart. Now, if you want to be fancy, and you know I like to be fancy, close her up, snap her into place. Wait, where is it? Oh yeah, got the fancy rocks for the fireplace. All right, so why do you need a fireplace? You don't need a fireplace, but as you can hear, I've got my air conditioner on. I can hear that air kind of blowing into the coach. In the winter time, if I want to have a really nice quiet environment, all I have to do is turn on my fireplace, and it's electric. It's not going to be using my heat pumps. It's actually just going to be running right here out of the fireplace. It's going to blow warmer air into the coach. It's going to make it so nice and toasty. So when I'm sitting here with my feet up on my ottoman, which by the way, Dixie, your ottoman is in the bay down below, don't worry. But it's just so nice. I can keep my toesies nice and warm. So I really, really love the fireplace. If you opt not to have the fireplace, you can replace the fireplace with cabinets. Boring. You really don't need them in this RV, but if you want to get them, that's fine, however you want to do it. Okay, so what's the vent to the left? The vent to the left is hydronic heat. So when we talk about hydronic heat, we are not talking about a water system that's in the floor. What we're talking about is a system that is warming a glycol mix that's going in a tube underneath the coach. And so if your heat pumps aren't kicking it for you, maybe it's, you know, below 38 to 32 degrees, maybe it's like 10 degrees, you've got your fireplace on, but it still isn't keeping up with the heat, you can run your hydronic heat. Your hydronic heat is heated by your tankless hot water heater. Your tankless hot water heater is giving you not only 150 gallons of fresh hot water with a 75-gallon gray tank and a 75-gallon black tank. Your fresh hot water heater is also heating that tube of glycol, which is going underneath the coach. There's a thermostat in the bays. There's also 110 strips on your tanks, keeping them from freezing, right? So a much more full season coach than most RVs out there in the world. But on top of it, it's pushing air over that tube. It's coming out through vents here. There's another vent here under the drawers. There's a vent there under the pantry, and it's keeping your coach warm. Now, what happens if you're not plugged into 150, what happens if you're not plugged into 50 amp? Well, if you're not plugged into 50 amp, one of the best things about a Renegade is you've got 100-gallon fuel capacity, and it can run your diesel burner, can run your hot water heater off of your diesel tanks. So you don't need to be plugged into 150 to have a nice warm coach. You can actually run it right off of your diesel tanks, and you don't have to worry about running out of propane. So a lot of people go, ooh, I don't know, I kind of like my propane. I said, well, why do you like your propane? Well, because I like it for cooking, and I like a nice snuggly warm coach. Well, one of the best things about this coach is how snuggly warm you can keep it running just off of your diesel, and you don't have to worry about going and refilling a tank, bringing in your slides, driving somewhere, and having someone fill you up. That being said, the other great thing about an all-electric coach is true induction. So this induction cooktop, as much as a lot of people like to go, oh, I really think that my propane works so much better. Well, it can, depending on the altitude. And if you're camping and you're not hitting those high points or those vistas, shame on you. Come to Colorado, pick up your RV. Let me give you a few recommendations. But I'll tell you, when you get to that thinner air, you're not getting the same combustion that you are with your flame. What's really nice about a true induction cooktop is not only can I put a paper towel down on this burner and put a pot on top of it to boil water because it's magnetic. It's not like a coil underneath. It's not a ceramic stove. It's a magnetic stove. So not only can I do that without having to worry about fire risk, but on top of it, I can set this to be a particular temperature, and it's running off of a thermostat, and it performs to a specific temperature. So you can set it 1 through 5. You can decide that you like to cook your eggs at 375 and have it just set at 375. Put your pan down, get the butter in there, get it nice and soft, and have a perfectly fried egg. I know it sounds like overkill, but oh my gosh, after you've cooked with induction, you'll never use a flame again. I'm building a really nice house right now, and the funny thing is, when I asked the guy at the appliance place about stoves, he showed me all of these great burner stoves. And then right before I left, I said, you know, I sell RVs. What do you think about true induction? And if I don't have a true induction kitchen on order right now going into my new house, I'll give you $1. I'll give you $100. Because guess what? I'm going all true induction in my new house, and it's all top of the line appliances because it works so much better. So I'm a huge believer. There's a pan that's made by a company in Indiana, and they have a copper core pan. It's called All-Clad, which works really good. Speaking of really good, you want to celebrate Thanksgiving in your RV? Because you can bake a turkey in here. Look at the size of this microwave convection oven. So not only is it convection, it's also a microwave. It's really big. You can make me some cookies and bring them to me here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado, because I am awesome and I helped you pick out the best RV you could possibly get for your money. Speaking of which, one of the things I really do enjoy doing is having people call me so I can ask you a lot of questions, because this might not be the right RV for you, but there's a number of questions I can ask about where you like to camp, who you like to camp with, how you like to camp, what your ambitions are. We can really help you hone in because we've got so many fantastic products here. Now, I mentioned earlier in the restroom that I loved this new tile backsplash. Look at how decadent this is. This is such a beautiful execution on the part of Renegade. They've done such a fantastic job with this. On the LE level, we do get a little nicer pantry than you get in the Verona. Now keep in mind, this LE is fancy. It's the luxury edition, but both coaches are made very, very well. I like this pantry an awful lot. Really convenient to put your taller stackable storage in here. You can keep a lot of cereal, a lot of dry goods in there. And then look at this great refrigerator. Now I mentioned that they do a lot of that sleek design. So back in 2021, we removed the handles. So they're underneath here. So while you're walking through the center of the coach, you don't have to worry about bouncing into something. Another thing worth mentioning with Renegade is that these coaches, if you have large pets, or maybe just a bum knee, are really, really cool when the slides are popped in. So as you can see here, ice maker, ton of freezer space down here. And once again, my favorite thing about Renegade is when it's locked, it just reads locked. It's red, it's not gonna open. So you don't have to worry about whether or not you're gonna have a Coke can flying out on top of your foot while you're driving down the road because you looked over and you know it's not blue. It's red. That means it's locked. Nothing's gonna fall on your foot. Super awesome. Well, maybe it will when you open the doors, but that's a whole other story, so won't go there. Check out this. You guys got a rice cooker? You wanna put in something like one of those air fryers? I mean, how about a gigantic coffee pot? You could bring a waffle maker with you. I mean, mixing bowls, who the heck knows? There's so much space in this coach. Can these drawers extend any further? I mean, they might like end up outside. Holy macaroni. And once again, all that dovetail finishing the whole way through. Just love this. This coach does have a whole house water filter. Of course, we'll need that because again, 150 gallons of fresh water is a lot of water to purify. And take a look at this beautiful undermount sink. Really nice. Doesn't this give you like that feeling of home? You know, you're doing your dishes, you're looking out the window, you're watching everyone play ball, frisbee, horseshoes, whatever, making dinner, making lunch. Just a really, really nice, classy design here. The folks that traded in a 2021, and were like so disappointed in the product quality. And the funny thing is they came in and they saw this coach after it arrived. They're picking it up on Thursday. So hi Dawn, hi Dixie. This is for their family. You know, they asked me, actually Dawn's kind of funny. Dawn says, I just stumbled on your YouTube videos. And so here he is picking up his coach. But I was so pleased that they wanted us to make a video for their family because that's what this is all about. It's all about getting out there and seeing people and doing stuff and being comfortable. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we talked about the Vega Touch Mira Firefly app. That is right here. We've also gone to a True Tank system, which is an improved system for us here at Renegade. We've had a little bit of a difficulty with accurate tank level measuring. So the True Tank is a solution that they've come up with for us on this model year. I haven't got a lot of feedback on it, which is a good thing, because usually if it's not a good thing, I get a lot of feedback. Take a look at all this space. And yes, folks, you are seeing that correct. There is a subwoofer underneath because, duh, everyone needs a subwoofer. I showed you these drawers because I remember I showed you the fancy fireplace things. Okay, so I think we've got most of this under control. Oh no, shoot, I forgot. Okay, one thing I didn't mention. This is a convertible booth, so this is also sleeping accommodations, and it has storage underneath. So in the Superstar, if you want a big booth, you don't get sleeping accommodations. In an LE, one of the things that's nice about it, look at all that storage. This is seriously, this pillow fit underneath in that compartment. Do you know how many laptops and iPads you could hold in there? I mean, that is just incredible. But you would put the two that are in here side by side underneath, and you've got another bed for a very short person or somebody who's extremely inebriated. Go with plan A, you'll feel better in the morning. Okay, so all that being said, we talked about the fact that this is a really fantastic model. One of the nicest features is Dixie's in the back getting ready, Dawn's making her coffee, Dixie has full use of the facilities in the rear, Dawn has his own bathroom. So again, lots of storage space throughout this coach. One of the things that we did this year that is really, really nice is we moved our electronics, so our brains, into the center bath. This is where you'll find them on the Newmars anyhow. So your breaker boxes and all your fuses are here in the middle, which is really, really nice. Also, as you can see, hydronic heat coming out of the center here, keeping you warm on a cold day. Digital readout, so while you're sitting here reading the paper or whatever else you're looking at, sports like, you've got all of your system statuses all updated right here in the center console. So totally dude bro bathroom, and great place to keep your TP and all of your tank stuff. And then more storage here underneath as well. And just another nice high polish countertop, seamless. You're not going to get any gunk building up in here. That beautiful tile backsplash. I mean, I don't know how they got these rounded corners in this aluminum, but it's just really, really well executed. And again, super simple. Pull the snap. You know that it's open. Close the door. You got your own privacy. Just a great, great space. Oh, we have a question. Go ahead. Hello.
If someone wanted theater seating instead of a couch, can we change it at our dealership?
100%. So one of the things that you can do, it's not going to be the same effect in terms of cost. There'll be a cost to remove the couch. Oh, almost fell down the stairs. Cost to remove the couch and a cost to install the theater seats. And then there'll be a shipping charge, but absolutely you could do that. It might be a little more efficient to go to the manufacturer and have it done there, so you're not having to ship your new seats to your dealership, but 100%. In fact, Renegade's really, really good about allowing you to modify furniture. I think we actually had some theater seats Ford Explorer show up today. So that was for a client who bought a unit with a couch. Of course, Explorers are really hard to come by, and you know, you take, if there's one available, that unit, and you just order the seats, and that's what we've done with that unit. So 100%. So the other storage compartment that you find up here, I think is such a great place to keep things like dog leashes, dishes for your dog. Maybe if you don't have pets, your bug spray, suntan lotion, umbrellas, your hat, all of those cool little things that you might want. And I think, Jody, I think we got it all. I think we got it all. Let's do this before we go out this mid entrance. I'm going to go ahead and go down here. I'm going to close this door. One of the things I like that they've done this year is they've changed this door so that it's magnetic. So if I close this door and I have my step override turned off, by closing the magnetic door, I've actually locked the door, and then I can actually lock it from the inside so no one can go out without having to actually close the main door. So I can have the door closed and locked without letting Fifi out, and I can do it with the main door open. Another thing that I really like that they've done is they've added so that you don't just have blackout shades throughout the front of the coach, you also have it here in the center, because if someone's sleeping in, you know, it's nice to be able to close this up and keep it nice and dark. Of course, you still have your fire extinguisher here. We're always a fan of safety. And then all your house on and off switches right there, as well as your step override. And then as you can see, there's another two 110 outlets, which are really, really handy if you need to run those out to your blender because you're making margaritas. Why am I always talking about margaritas, Jody? It's because it's 4 o'clock in the morning and I usually make my videos at 10. It's margarita time, folks. All right, so let's talk about seats. Air ride seats. What is air ride seats? Air ride seats means they're super fun. They inflate. When you hit bumps, you don't feel them. This is a really, really comfortable chair. They turn around. The armrests are adjustable. There's a little dial here that you can make it so that they're higher and lower. They're heated. Super cool. The equalizer leveling system is right here. It's very, very easy to use. We added a tag dump for the 2022 model year. So this is a 23, of course. It's redundant. It's already been in place, but really important. If you don't want to hyper extend your front jacks when you're on a forward facing slope, you really need to put your butt down on the ground, and that tag dump is what allows you to do that. So we've improved the equalizer leveling system. Now we talk about apps. There's an app for the equalizer leveling system. There's an app for Freightliner. There's an app for your Firefly system. Everything has got apps. So super cool. You can really communicate well with your coach. It's really revolutionized this industry, so I think it's quite important. Now we'll talk about your flat face Allison transmission. Super simple. when it says mode, one of the things to understand, and I get questions about this quite frequently, you can lock this into like a third gear. So it's a 6-speed automatic transmission, but if you're going down a hill or you just don't want to get too much speed going up, you can actually set it so that it won't go past third gear, but it'll still function at the lower levels. And of course, you also have your engine brake. This coach has, not only do you have a mobilized system, which is going to allow you to set your cruise control to follow people, it also has a lane departure warning. So left and right lane departure. It's pretty bossy, but it's also really cool because it'll keep you safe. Another thing that people tend to really like about the Renegade product is the fact that these curtains are on a track that come out right here. I would still recommend getting something called a heat shield. The heat shield is made for Freightliner products. Of course, this is a semi-truck, right? So you can put the heat shield in here. If you look at the Superstar out there, that white one, that's my Superstar. I'm rocking the heat shield. Super nice. Even if I have my curtains up, I'll still have my heat shield in place because it's reflecting the heat off of the windshield. It's not even coming into the coach. And then when I put the curtains up, it's absolutely pitch black in my unit. Super nice as well. Tire pressure monitoring system is another feature that you get in a Verona LE or a Verona that you don't get on other manufacturers. Another nice feature is this adjustable trailer brake, so it's already integrated. You have all of your systems set up here on your dash. For a lot of people who like the Garmin navigation systems, you've got Garmin instead of Nav and Go. It's a cool system. To be honest with you, I use both. I use this just so I don't go over bridges that are too heavy or under overpasses that are too low. And then I use Google for traffic because between the two of them, I seem to have a little bit better luck. We have another question. All right. Hi.
Do you need a CDL to drive this?
Do you need a CDL to drive it? Lord, no, because I don't have one, and I drive mine back and forth between Estes Park and through the Rocky Mountains all the time. That's here in Colorado. So in Colorado, if it's over 26,000 pounds and it's a recreational vehicle, you're good to go. You can drive on your driver's licenses. I do know like places like Pennsylvania actually have specific licenses and tests. On that note, we have a really cool system here. So not only when you come into Transwest to take delivery of your vehicle, do you get a 3-hour walk around and presentation. We have a campground, which is where my RV is parked right now, that you can stay in either while you're having service, or if you're a new owner, it's a great place to be able to transfer from one coach over to the other. Makes it much more convenient to get everything swapped over. You don't have to clean out your coach before you come to pick up. But more importantly, there's a gentleman by the name of Tim who actually has driving classes. So even if you don't have to get a CDL to drive an RV, if you feel like you would be more comfortable, I have had nothing but a 100%, no kidding, I've never had a single complaint, success rate with Tim and his driving course. He'll pick you up here at 9 o'clock in the morning. He takes you up into the mountains. He takes you through parking lots. He shows you how to turn around. He shows you where you're, where you need to look when you're making turns. He gives you safety instructions on how to back up and park. Just a fantastic instruction. And I had some clients that picked up in Essex. They had never had an RV before. They took 2 days of courses to get their 10 hours of driving in that they needed to be able to get their certification in Pennsylvania. And they were so over the moon. Drove their brand new 45-foot coach all the way back home very comfortably. So if you are concerned about driving something like a bigger RV, this is absolutely the way to go. And Tim doesn't work for our dealership, but he is a fantastic benefit to us. Somebody who does work for our dealership that's worth mentioning is also very, very much one of the reasons you should consider purchasing your RV from us. Bill Habercorn is a walking RV encyclopedia. One of the things that you get when you buy your RV from us is Bill Habercorn. And what that means is you can send him a text, and I swear he might be able to just do it with his eyes closed. He can tell you where things are on RVs, why things are making weird noises. He can hear the symptom that you're describing to him and oftentimes walk you through a problem before you need to have roadside assistance come out, before you need to call the 1-800 numbers. So that's a really, really huge advantage that you get from buying from Transwest in Frederick, Fountain, or Grand Junction. Bill Habercorn is a really awesome man. He's a mainstay for us and definitely another reason to buy here at Transwest. Now, another reason to get a semi-truck over a Class A is going to be because you have this more truck-like experience, right? So you have this big cab. It's gonna feel a lot more like you were kind of vacuuming up the freeway. Now people ask me which one drives better. I'll tell you, you've got more dexterity and maybe a softer, like more like a Jeep ride in a Class A, and you're gonna have more of like a fine sport tune, a German performance type of ride in a Super C. It's really gonna feel like you're hugging the road. You've got complete dominion over the coach that you're driving. This is a monster. And then another reason is because when people see you driving in your Super C, all my safety systems are showing up. There's my WABCO, that's my on guard. That's gonna be the collision mitigation system. That's gonna tell me if I'm tailgating. It's also gonna be the thing that uses, that I can use to have the cruise control where I can actually follow vehicles by a certain distance. And then we should hear in a second that, there goes, that's your lane tracking package. But check this out. That's one of the #1 reasons to buy a Super C, because when you have a Super C, you're 100% immediately a badass. Dixie, I hope you'll drive this. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna hop out. Jody, I'm gonna come and let you out if you don't mind. So I'm gonna hop out this door. This is another reason to get a Super C, and I'm gonna let you out the middle. So one of the main reasons that people like Super Cs is if you've got somebody who's sleeping in the back, or maybe you're just resting, maybe you're on your own, it's just really nice not to have to walk through the entire coach to get to the exit. All you have to do is literally hop out the door and you're there. And the only reason we're gonna start here is because as Jody comes out, I wanna make sure he shows this really cool lighting effect that says Verona Ellie on your steps. And then I also want to point out that these are great places to keep your shoes and your flip-flops. So one of the things that I really miss about my Verona is that little shoe storage area. It's just fantastic. So let's go ahead and start up here from the front. As mentioned earlier, we have two 50-gallon tanks here, so 100 gallons of diesel. You've got dual fill, and then really easy access into the cab. So I super like this. This is one of the most wonderful things about this coach. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and try to put my slides in from outside here. But while I'm working on that, the LE has these really nice chrome lined convex mirrors. And here's one of your cameras here. So when you put your right hand turn signal on, this will pop up for you. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna confirm, and I just wanna show this to you. So now I'm on awnings. I'm gonna go here to slides. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to retract. Right side front. Might have to get a little bit closer. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. No, it should be the right side. Yeah, I am having a hard time with connectivity. This parking lot's kind of a doozy. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so I'm on awnings. All right, I'm gonna keep holding this button while I walk around. I don't wanna get hung up on this part of it, but this is one of my favorite features actually, is being able to put my slides in and out with the push of a button. There we go. Oh gosh. There we are. So as you can see, one of the nicest features about this RV is actually going to be if I am parked next to a tree and I want to make sure that I have enough clearance, I can actually come out here and operate my coach from outside. Now I am using my app, and this is going to be by Bluetooth, so I have to be close enough to be able to get in there. But here we go, all the way in. So super, super cool system there. And then on top of it, yep, there we go. It gives me access before I go to all of my compartments. Now we talked a little bit about the differentiation between hydronic heat and propane heat. This is your aqua hot system. So this is your tankless hot water heater. This is the fluid that's running underneath your coach. If you mention that you've watched my videos, one thing that I promise you is that I will give you a gallon of this fluid. So Dixie, I know you've already asked, I promise I'll give it to you. One of the benefits in getting the Verona LE over the Verona is that you've got the 450D system instead of the 250D system, so a little more robust, a little more heat, if you will. But love that it's up here in this front compartment, changed from last year. Take a look at all of this storage. And you'll notice that we have 2 latches on all of these doors. Dixie, there is your ottoman. I know she said, Katie, where's my ottoman? It's right there. And one of the things that's really nice about that ottoman is that the top is reversible. So you have a place where you can put your feet up, you can put your blankets below, and then you can turn it over and it's a table. But look at how deep the storage is in here. Lots and lots of room. And then as you'll note, right below the awning is our television. So another Samsung 4K smart TV with a sound bar, super, super cool. Another benefit to the LE over the Verona is gonna be this keypad. This is very similar to the Newmar where we've got a keypad to lock and unlock, so you don't need to bring your keys. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and try. Yeah, my app is being a little bit wonky, and I apologize. I probably have an update that's due, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it one more time. I got it. Here we go, all the way out. So there's I'm gonna put my awning out. One of the things that's really nice about this awning is gonna be that you have this great LED light strip. So when you do have yourself out and you're watching a movie, what's really nice about this is you're creating a living room effect, if you will. So you're actually having a really nice place where you've got full lighted exterior. And if you've got something like a Outlander fire pit, you've got your lights on, you're watching TV, maybe listening to a little Jimi Hendrix on your sound bar, super, super handy that you can sit out here and be underneath if it's drizzling or a little bit wet. Now these are slide locks. It's also important to understand that your slide locks are going to be something that you're going to need to put in place to keep your slides in. One of the benefits of these is that you don't have to worry about them rolling out. I never used mine, but I've heard of people needing to use them, so that's what those are for. When I say I've never used mine, I've never had a slide creep out, but if I was going on a longer road trip, I'd probably put those in place. And then back here you can see there's your extra tile for the floor, as well as your hose for your intervac system. This is the optional Renegade mud flap you'll see underneath here. I think that that's a really nice feature to have as well. And then as you can see here, we've got our 20,000 pound towing connection. And we also have our Voyager system. This is that brake controller or camera controller that we had up front with your brake controller. And then also you've got your 7-pin connector and then your reversible ball. So you've got all of the things that you need to be able to get on the road. Really nice that you've got an integrated brake controller in the system. I had to install one on my Renegade on my Superstar before we hit the road. So it's nice that it comes from the factory that way. Here in the rear compartment, you'll notice a few different things. We've got the surge protector here. We've also got a 36-foot power cord on a power reel, and we've also got outlets back here, as well as a 50 to 30 amp adapter for power. And then here you'll see the air chock. That is long enough to fill up and air up all of your tires. Here you're going to see your 8 kilowatt or 8,000 watt Onan diesel generator. Not only can I control that with my app, I also can turn it off right here from the outside. So I have not only app control, a start on the inside, but also a manual on the outside as well. And then over here, oh, see, I was doing the wrong side. Sorry about that, Jody. So you'll notice that here in this water system, one of the things that's really, really nice about this is that it's engraved into the actual paint. So this isn't painted on. This is actually used, there's a water jet that's carved in that this is your black tank dump, that this is your low point drain. that this is your cable input, that this is your wash for your black tank. So all of this is carved in here. And then you've also got a power hose reel in here, as well as your whole house water filter. So very, very convenient, very easy access point. And then here, gray and black water tank. And this is the flow jet system. So this is much like what you would see in terms of called SantaCon on a Newmar product. The flow jet system is the same thing. It's going to alleviate the necessity to have those slunkies if you need to go up and down the hill. And then again, another tank here as well. Also a great place to keep a fishing pole. Nice and long. And then take a look at all this extra space. So you'll notice that right here we've got this Victron system. This Victron system is going to be what helps us to integrate our batteries, our lithium-ion batteries, into this coach. It's kind of the brains of the operation, helps everything to talk to each other. And here you'll see, not only do we have our 2 standard lithium-ion batteries, we also have our upgraded 260 amp additional battery. So a lot of battery power on this, and a very, very lightweight, comparably to all those AGMs condensed system. Very, very nice features. So again, these are 260 each. That is so much amperage in this coach, along with the 3 150 watt solar panels on top. You've got so much solar, you've got so much storage. This is a great coach for those of you who want to get off the beaten path and go boondocking. And I apologize, they are 170 watt solar panels, not 150. And there are 3, and those are ZAMP panels that we install here at the dealership onto a lot of our Newmar products, but they're factory installed by Renegade. So take a look at this. So here you can see the marriage of the Cummins to the Freightliner. Now, why do I talk about that? Because one of the things that Freightliner does a great job at is they have these really robust and strong, beefy engines. But if you're wondering which components belong to Cummins, they're all painted in red here underneath. So very, very cool system. I also wanted just to point out your negative and positive jump points. And as you can see, things like your fuel separator, your water separator, your windshield washer fluid, all of those things are going to be a much easier access point. And you also have a lot more between you and the car in front of you if there happens to be an accident. So a lot of people like the extra safety that you get by having a front engine diesel. Keep in mind, our lights are highly improved over the last several years. These are going to give you the best illumination. It's a really important feature to Renegade. They talk a lot about it, but one of the nice things about this light is it's not going to illuminate the fog. It'll actually cut through the fog, and you still have your fog lamps down below, which is a really nice feature. Of course, we always talk about all of the great, turn signals that you have throughout the coach so people can see where you're coming and going. We talk about this beautiful aerodynamic cap that we have on top of here. So with our new overhead bunk sleeping, I think that in the market for any RV, if you're out there shopping and you're looking for something that's going to have the best fit and finish at a very attractive price point, this is a great place to look. Again, this is a Verona LE. This is the 40 LRB. It's a 2023 model, which is why you see this bunk over cab option currently. People have been asking for it for a long time. If you'd like to have one for yourself, give me a call. Let me help you with an order. Let's get one coming down the road for you. Again, my name is Katie O'Neill. I'm here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV. I'm here in Frederick, Colorado. I love to help get you on the road and camping. Thank you so much for tuning in today.